folks, and welcome back to the One.Stop.Over. I'm so grateful for you all joining me today, and to those that have taken the time to subscribe, follow, or comment on my previous Substack posts. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey and actively participating and engaging. It really means a lot to me, and as always, it's so great to see Substack community growing. And if you're new here, my name is Tom, and I'm a photographer based in New Jersey. And today I'm going to talk about 3 photo books that have influenced my photographic journey. I think it's really, really important to spend time with other people's work, and the photo monograph is something I really enjoy looking at. They are a great way for you to get to look at other people's work and help maybe you discover your own photographic voice. I think they're a really, really good tool to help you understand the importance of sequencing and narrative in your work. And they expose you to new material that you might not have seen before. And then finally, if you have a favorite photographer, they're a great way to give you some deeper understanding of that individual. So the first book I'd like to talk about is Matt Black's American Geography. And Matt is a Magnum photographer who spent 5 years between 2015 and 2020 traveling over 100,000 miles to the poorest communities in the United States. And his book not only contains images and quotes from his handwritten travel journals, which he kept during the time he was on the road, but he also documented articles and artifacts that he found on the road. And I thought this was a really interesting part of his work because it not only shows the written word and how he was feeling, the images of the locations, but then items he found while he was in those communities. And this book really, really had a profound effect on me because up until I'd picked this piece of work up, I had not experienced or been able to describe my experience when I had passed through the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota a number of years before reading the book. And one of Matt's notes in his journal really, really well described the feeling I got while I was there, and it really resonated with me. The second book that I'd like to refer to is Alex Webb's The Suffering of Light. So Alex Webb, another fantastic Magnum photographer, extremely well known. And this particular book is a selection of work from over a 30-year period. It's all high contrast and heavily complex layers and compositions, which Alex is really, really well known for. And this was one of the first books that was given to me when I was interested in learning more about layering in images. And what I always find interesting about Alex's work is that he appears to try to add as many subjects as to the frame and layers to the frame as possible, while still maintaining balanced compositions. And they're just right on the edge of collapsing under their own weight. And it takes a lot of skill and patience, I think, to create this type of work. And as a result, it's helped me push my own photographic boundaries. I really enjoy framing and sub-framing. And it's also helped me build a level of patience in my photography. And so if I come across a scene where I see that several elements similar to Alex's work might be possible, frames, subframes, bright colors, areas of high contrast, I'll tend to sit on those areas and try and wait for the right subjects or many right subjects to move into that area. And it's quite a fun game. Nobody seems to do this like Alex Webb. His work is truly incredible and is something that all photographers, I think, would benefit from spending time looking at. And the final book I'd like to talk about is from the photographer James Nachtwey, who is a very famous war and conflict photographer who has documented all kinds of war and conflict throughout the world over his entire career. The book in particular is called Inferno, and it covers a period of the 90s, specifically focused on Rwanda, Bosnia, Kosovo, Somalia, Romania, and several other hot conflict zones that were in action during this time. And while the images in James's book can often depict graphic scenes of human suffering and the consequences of war in a very graphic way, James Nugway has a way of capturing these horrors in almost a beautiful way. He never once appears to objectify his subjects, and even in some of the most horrific images, there are hidden moments of human compassion and love between people. And I really, really was struck by not only how powerful the images are, but how James appears to approach this subject in a tender way, while also maintaining the impact and intent of his work, which he has openly said to, he does this so that we will hopefully end all war. What I'll do is I will have links to all 3 books in the show notes for this episode. I'd love to hear from all of you what your favorite photo books are and which ones in particular have influenced your photography. And again, thank you for listening. I appreciate all your time. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon.